A trio of federal judges in New York City told Trump he could not go forward with his executive order to make sure that he gets a list of only the American citizens. So a trio of federal judges in New York on Thursday ruled that President Donald Trump's order to exclude undocumented immigrants from the census count was unlawful. Trump's July memorandum, to remind you all, claimed that the undocumented immigrants should not be counted in the census for purposes of deciding how many members of Congress are allocated to each state. Trump's July order did not change who would be counted in the 2020 census, which counts every person, but rather directed Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, who I think he took this job after he lost the job as Crypt Keeper in HBO's series, Tales from the Crypt, whose agency oversees the US Census Bureau, to provide the president with a count of the entire population and a second that excluded, quote, aliens who are not in a lawful immigration status. So they stopped him from doing this. Benjamin, what do you think?
I think it's the symbolism of it that he wants to go after more than anything else. So this is a loss, and it's a victory for us, a loss for his side. But the messaging is what he's going after. He wants to continuously pander to that particular part of their base that seeks this type of xenophobia, right? And so win or lose, in a way, he still wins because this fuels his base in a way that maintains his support no matter what he does. But we can't negate the fact that this is a victory in terms of counting for the census.
Yeah, it's so much of the census relies on whether you answer. I mean, it all relies on whether you answer it, and all this messaging and all of Trump's rhetoric just suppresses the vote count anyway. This is whether folks trust the people with the tablets going around and saying how many people live here. In a normal setting, even with undocumented immigrants or even lawful immigrants who are just skeptical of the Trump administration for good reason, because there have been people who are here lawfully who have been sent to their countries of origin, and we only later find out that that happened. This, as you say, like just intimidates people and suppresses the count and is giving people in the Trump camp more reasons to go, yeah. But I will say, if you do look at the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, what he did is very obviously wrong. Right. And I quote, representatives shall be apportioned among several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed, just to give you a feeling that it was actually written when those three amendments were passed. So like, yes, it is. It still has some weird language about Indians not taxed, but yes, we don't apportion people. There's a couple points about this. We don't apportion representatives based on how many citizens are there. We do it based on how many people are there, because you have to get enough resources and represent enough resources for what is happening in that area. And that's just how we do it. And if you're gonna say you're an originalist or you will go with the text of the Constitution, can't get more explicit than the word persons. And if you're like, well, they meant something, otherwise they would have said differently. Then they do exclude. There is an enumerated list of those excluded from the count, and it's just Indians not taxed. That's so crazy. And the other point about it is there's already so many other ways they cheat. The gerrymandering,
yeah,
and that's kind of hinted at in this decision, where the judges essentially looked at it and said, "Hey guys, you want to know something? This is going to last 10 years, and we just cannot allow you to do this right now with this weird last minute flex, because it will be 10 years that this affects."
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.